Guys, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Jess. I'm admin over on Vape Rich's Facebook group, and today I'm here to do a review of the new Cleito 120. Show you the tank in its box. I got this in the post the other day from Mail Order Vapes. As always, brilliant fast delivery from them. So let's have a look at the tank. So according to the box, this is meant to be a 120 watt tank king with scrumptious flavour, controlled airflow and instant massive vapour. So we'll have a look at that. Let's have a look at the back. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to read that, but it's just giving you a little bit of background on the tank, saying that it's a new class of its own. You can ramp up to 120 watts. It's saying about becoming the king of the jungle. As always with Aspire product, at the very bottom, if you were to take all the packaging out of the box, you're able to do the scratch check code. So you scratch off the little panel and you can enter a code on the website to double check that you've got a genuine Aspire product. So I ordered the tank in stainless steel for myself. It's a 4ml capacity tank, which is slightly less than the 5ml of the Fatboy Aspire. If you had the Fatboy glass on the old Cleito, that was 5ml. But 4ml is still pretty decent for the tanks at the moment. I have the standard old Aspire Cleito here, and as you can see, the new Aspire is a lot bigger than that, although they've kept a very similar design. One major difference with the new Cleito is the new Dell ring drip tip on the top. It goes right round it. It's no longer a 510 drip tip. I believe this is to stop you from becoming burnt by the tank because it gets hot, because obviously 100 to 120 watts is quite a hot vape. So I'm going to take the tank apart and have a look at how we fill it and put it all together. So first of all, there's two ways you can fill this tank. If we unscrew the black part at the top, the drip tip, you'll see that you've got a almost fully enclosed chamber there with just a small hole to fill it, which is very similar to the design of the Smock tanks, and you'll find a unicorn bottle fits quite nicely in there. But if you prefer the way the old Cleito used to fill, you can unscrew the secondary metal bit just here, and you'll see that we can still fill it in exactly the same way. One other point to mention about this is the coils in this. If you can see in there, the coil inside the new Aspire has these metal teeth inside, which are a spit back guard, preventing you from getting burnt with any hot juice, which is always a good thing. Don't want any nasty injuries. So if we take the glass off, we can have a look at the coil. It's a 0.16 coil. It's rated at 100 to 120 watt. As you can see, it's a bit of a beast of a coil, quite big. And you should be able to see there, it seems to be quite well packed with cotton. So pop that back on there. And we're going to quickly prime this coil. I'm using Joker from AZ Swag Sauce today. Again, this is available from Mail Order Vapes. It's a very strawberry creamy liquid. I'm quite into that at the moment. And so priming the coil. I've got my unicorn bottle already filled with Joker. And I'm just going to drip it on to the areas that you can see the cotton exposed on the coil. And you just keep turning the coil around and dripping onto all these bits of cotton until it stops absorbing. Okay, so pop the glass back onto there now. As you can see, it goes on pretty easily, sits on there nice and tight. It's not loose in any way, which is always a brilliant thing, because I know some tanks I've had in the past, I've struggled to get the glass on and off of them. So I'm going to screw that back on. I'm going to show you about filling it using the unicorn bottle through that hole there. Really easy, it fits perfectly in there, and just give that a good squeeze, and as easy as that, we have a tank full of Joker. So let's Pop that back on there. I'm going to pop this on my RX and leave that to sit for a minute. Make sure that the juice is fully absorbed into the coil before I vape on it. So while I'm waiting for that, I just thought I'd show you the different coils. So I've got here, I'll pop that out in a second. I've got one of the old Cleito coils. And if I can get it out of the box, I will show you the new Cleito coil alongside it. So to start with, that's the old Cleito coil. This is a 0.4 coil. It's rated at 55 to 65 watts, so almost half the wattage of the new Cleito coil. As you can see, the new Cleito coil is a lot fatter. And we've got the orange rings instead of the black rings on it. But other than that, the design is very similar. I'll pop that back in. Also, just to let you know, in the box, we've got a spare glass. And it also gives you an Aspire vape band. It says Fight Vape on it. Slightly different to the old Cleito. If anybody had one, you'll remember that we had the full ring on the top of it in different colours. Obviously with the new drip tip on this, we don't need that anymore. And we also have some instructions there, just showing you how we take it apart and fill it and what have you. So that's always good to refer back to, especially if you're new with these sorts of tanks. So let's have a look. So put this down to 60 watts and we'll have a look how it vapes. As you can see, 60 watts. I'm going to open the airflow out. Let's have a look if we get the massive vapour production. Okay, so at 60 watt, not an awful lot. Admittedly not the biggest pull, but still not an awful lot of flavours there. You can definitely taste the creaminess of the Joker coming through. Let's bang that one up to about 80 now. 81. Okay, see if it's any different. Okay, so that 20 watts has made quite a difference to the vapour production. Not an awful lot of difference on the flavour. But again, like I said, it's a very creamy juice, so even at a low wattage, you can really taste the cream in this juice. So 80 watts seems to be a nice area for it. There's some nice clouds. It's really nice flavour, really intense flavour from this. Certainly not getting hot at any point. The tank remains quite cool. Let's bang that one up to 100. So we're now hitting the recommended wattage range for this tank. So there we go, 100 watt. So we're at the lower end of the recommended wattage range here. And that is starting to become a bit of a warm vape. The clouds are still good. I have to say I think the flavour was better at 80 watt. Seems to be a little bit muted at this higher wattage. Let's turn it up to 120. So we're now at the top end of the recommended wattage for this tank. And bear in mind, this is just a recommended wattage. These coils can take slightly under, as you saw. It did really well at 80, but let's have a look at 120. Okay, so certainly a lot bigger clouds at 120, but again, it's a very warm vape this high. And I do believe that the flavour is actually quite muted. So I think for me, the best wattage for this was at 80. Let's put it on 84, a nice happy medium. For me, that's quite the sweet spot on it. I'm quite happy with the clouds that are coming off it. The flavour is really intense, definitely does what it says on the tin. As you've seen, the clouds are immense from it. And the flavour is really, really good. Really taste the cream, and you can taste the strawberryness of the Joker too. So all in all, I think this is a really good tank. I think Aspire have done really well with this. I was always a big fan of the old Cleito, and certainly having the extra clouds and the improved flavour from this new one is a big hit with me. So hopefully that's been helpful to you all. Please drop me a comment and let me know what you thought, and I'll see you all soon.